Hello. Today, I want to talk about the National Honors Award ceremony held recently by the federal government of Nigeria, during which different awards were presented to, yes, distinguished Nigerians who are in different fields and who have become prominent at different levels. Some have been prominent nationwide, while some were noticed in their own corner. All of us didn't know them until the nominations or even until the presentation of the awards. But we believe that these are people who have distinguished themselves in their chosen fields. Now, there wouldn't have been any need to talk about that because it has come and gone. All we would have needed to do was to congratulate the recipients and just move on with our lives. But there have been a number of stories emanating from the nominations and the presentations. So one of the story particularly, which has been trending since then, or was about a young lady, a singer who got an award, a National Honors Award, and ended up in the wrong book of the public opinion courts. A lot of people felt that her courage, while going to receive the award from Mr. President, was not appropriate. And I'm not here to talk about the appropriateness of her comportment or courage disposition. I don't want to dwell too much on that because a lot of people have treated that. Some said she was rude, and some said courage was to protest the things. I want to avoid adjectives. was a protest against certain things, certain actions and inaction of the government. Well, one would not say that those who felt that she was protesting the inadequacies of the government are wrong. One wouldn't say that they are wrong by that observation. And one would not say that I would not say that if I'm going to receive an award either at a street, just in your street where you live, and you've been nominated for an award. In fact, even your street is even too big. In an estate, even within an estate, I've seen estates organizing awards to recognize those who have contributed a lot to community service. I've seen that. So even within your estate, if you are invited for an award, if you ask me, but I think there's even no need to say, would you behave that way if you've been nominated for an award? Would you behave that way? Would you walk towards the podium that way? and all of that. There is no need to do that, because everybody in this world is different from the other person. No two people are the same. And before I go on, I also like to say that the person that was nominated for the award was the person that went to get the shield. What I'm saying is, this lady was who she was, and who she was who was seen. Who she was who was nominated, and it is the same person that was seen and nominated that went to get the award. So you will not expect to be different, to go there as a different person from who she has always been, in terms of dressing, in terms of carriage, in terms of mien. You would not you would go there as who you have always been, most likely. Now, why do people plan awards? People who plan awards are stakeholders within the space, and basically awards are organized to recognize people who are doing well, to encourage them to continue to do well. That's one. And two, to inspire those who are coming from behind, in the sense of yet to attain the prominence that those ones had attained to qualify for the award. Those who are yet to be noticed, to encourage them to continue to work hard or harder, so that one day they will be on the podium receiving an award somewhere. So basically that is it, to recognize those who are doing well and encourage them to continue, and to inspire those whose work is yet to get to the measure of recognition. So that's why people, or governments, or organizations, or institutes, or foundations organize awards. So why do people need awards? Why do people receive awards? Well, you receive an award, you are happy to get it, because it's gratifying for your psychological needs of recognition, social status, and self-fulfillment. You feel satisfied that at last, after all the efforts, you are being recognized by a group, a formation, an establishment, a state, and so on and so forth. You feel satisfied that you are being recognized, and it enhances your social status, and you feel fulfilled that out of so many people in your industry or field, you have been handpicked for an award of recognition. So that is why you go for it. Now, if you are going for it, there are award ceremonies where recipients are given the opportunity to give an acceptance speech or a thank you speech. Yes, basically, the acceptance speech is almost synonymous with a thank you speech. And there are awards where you are not given that chance to give an acceptance speech. There are awards where a few people would speak on behalf of all the recipients, particularly when you have so many people receiving the awards at the same time. So whichever way it is, if you are given the opportunity for an acceptance speech, you don't want to take over, you don't want to seize the air for too long. There are basic things that you should touch in your acceptance speech, which is supposed to be brief. One, you want to show an appreciation of your own journey. You want to show humility and gratitude at the same time, that after all the struggles, you may touch the journey briefly, very briefly, and let people know that it didn't just happen by closing your eyes and opening it within a second. No, you just want to touch the journey very briefly and show an appreciation of what the journey has looked like before the award. Then you also want to thank the people who have worked with you, and you may also acknowledge the contributions of people who have inspired you to work harder. It may be just a model who doesn't even know you. It may be your parents or anybody at all who has helped you to come that far. It may also be a thank you note to somebody who has opened up the path that you tread to arrive at that point where you are being recognized. But basically, you don't want to seize the air for too long. And remember that it is not actually what you say that is as important as how you make people feel eventually by what you say or what you fail to say. And that takes me to this very important point. There are awards where you will not be given the opportunity to give an acceptance speech, but you are still speaking. It may not be verbally or orally, but know that your courage at the ceremony is your speech. There were people who went to dig out 2 videos, one of Toby Amushon and the other video of Tenny Akpata. Now, and I saw the 2 videos. If you see the way Toby approached, I think the award ceremony that featured Toby was a smaller one that was held specially for people who have done the country proud in sport or so. But Tenny was part of a larger award ceremony. However, Toby didn't give a speech. But if you see the way she approached the podium, she was full of energy and joy. It was clear that Toby was very happy and enthusiastic and elated and delighted. You will see a delight. You will see that she was very happy, and she approached the podium with a lot of warmth. I think if the person to present the award was even dozing, Toby's energy towards the podium was enough to jack him up and say, come on, see how happy, our joy, our delight would infect the the person, regardless of how sluggish or weak or dull the person to present the award may be. In Yoruba, àwọn máa ń sọ wọ́n ní wèrè lẹ́rìn ó máa ń ràn ni. If you are laughing, it will infect the people around you. They will also start laughing. So that was clear in Toby Amushon's approach. But in the case of the single lady, I would say she was just neutral. What I saw was a neutrality. I don't think that anybody would be invited to an award and would say that she's not happy to be recognized. I don't think so. So I don't want to say that she was not happy. At the same time, she has not confirmed that she was protesting the inadequacies or the inability of the government to rise up to the challenges that the nation is facing at the moment. I don't want to say that because she has not said so, or if she has said so, I have not come across that content or post or presentation anywhere. But since I've not seen that, I would simply say that I saw that she was very, very neutral. That may just be who she is. But when these things happen, it is for all of us to learn from. So what is the lesson that we want to pick from this? The lesson is, how should you receive an award? How? Number one, the organizers would receive nominations and they will write letters to the nominees, to the people who have been nominated. Now, if you receive a letter of nomination for an award, I think basically there may be variations here and there depending on the organizers of the award, but I think basically and generally the next thing to do, if they fail to indicate it in their nomination letter, received the letter, and okay, so the next thing to do is to write an acceptance letter that you are available for the award. When you write an acceptance letter that you are available for the award, so I think that if you truly want to avoid what has happened to Tenny, particularly if you have not made that mistake in the past, the next thing to do is to read. See, there's nothing that is too small to go and learn about. Nothing. There is nothing that you can't say, you can't ask questions about. So you have invited me to this. You can even include that in your letter, that what are your expectations from me? If they fail to tell you their expectation, what are the expectations? You can ask, what are your expectations from me? They will reply you, they should reply you, that we expect that when you are coming or before the date, you would turn in these documents and that item and certain payments and so on and so forth. They may tell you all of that. Beyond asking the organizers about their expectations from you. You can also ask people who have received awards in the past. Learn from them. You can also go and find out. Receiving an award may appear as a simple thing, but if it was that simple, people would not have said that she got it wrong, that her comportment was wrong. And either those who said so were right or not. I think nobody enjoys bad press. You don't want to go viral for the wrong reasons. So because of that, maybe if you want to get an award, ask in your acceptance letter to know the expectations of the organizers from you. Ask questions from people who have received the award in the past, and check a few things, a few videos on YouTube or here and there. Read some books. It's nothing difficult to find out. When you are in doubt, you ask. If you are still in doubt, you ask. You do your assignments, and then basically, now let's go to the basics. Either it is an award or it is not an award. Where I come from, if you want to collect something from somebody who is older than you, it doesn't cost you anything to bow, just to courtesy. I've seen many videos of Britons courtesying, showing courtesy in the fashion that we kneel to elderly people. And I'm not saying if you don't want to kneel, I'm not saying you should kneel with your knees to the ground. That's not what I'm saying. I've seen Kate Middleton, I've seen Meghan Markle, I've seen Camilla Parker Bowles, I've seen people like that showing courtesy to elderly people. So it is not about you being exposed or you being civilized. Indiscipline is not civilization. Inability or failure to show courtesy where you should show it is not civilization. It is not. So you can just bow a bit or smile, or it's part of it. You want to show your joy. Like I said, if you are not given the opportunity to speak, to give a speech, a thank you speech, your body language is the speech that you are making, and that will determine how you make people feel about your appearance. So, but I'm also saying that either it is during an award or not during an award. See, nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, àgbà lòòṣà, ẹni bá jù yàn lọ. That's why even in the British royal family, they pay homage to ancestors. But we are saying even before they become ancestors, because ancestors are people who are not here. When you say ancestor, it means they are not here again. And your immediate parent will become your ancestors when they translate, when they leave this space. So, but when they are here, right here, we respect elders too. Regardless of the failures or the inadequacies of the elders, it is not your role to disrespect them. It is not for you to disrespect them. There are ways that we can make our grievances known to people who are ahead or above or older than us. And in fact, if the person presenting an award to you is younger than you still take it with a bow. It is not to that individual, it is to the audience. It is to those who have contributed to your journey. It is to those who established that path that you have chosen to tread. It is to people who have supported you. The audience goes beyond the hall where the award is being presented. The audience extends to everybody who have learned that you have been so recognized and who are with you physically or not physically, in spirit or emotionally. They are part of the audience that you want to courtesy to. They are all part of the audience. And in today's times, where we have television, social media, all sorts of platforms from where people would be watching, all of those contribute to your audience. So if you think you want to protest to an individual, in the process you would disrespect. In fact, you also disrespect those who have got the award before you and those who will be getting it after you. So your audience, while receiving an award, extends beyond the individual who is presenting the award to you, and it extends beyond the people seated in the hall. It extends to everybody who is watching everywhere, and it extends to everyone who has contributed to your journey and who are a sense of achievement. You remember that recently a woman came out and said she was the one who discovered Tobiamusho. She said some people have been trying to claim the glory.